So normally I always have no glasses on, and that's because I always said I want you guys to see me or whatever. But you know what? The way my lashes is set up, I really hate putting on strip lashes. And on top of that, too, like my business partner, she usually does it for me because she does it way better than I do. She's a beast of a makeup artist. Y'all should check her out. Instagram Beat by Mags, and she also owns Glamour Vault. Glamour Vault glamourvaultco.com. She has dope ass lashes. The one that I usually go for is the Lopez because like I like the little bouginess, but then at the same time I like it like short. I don't really like them over the exaggerated longs too much unless I'm trying to be dramatic out there. But anyways, so yeah, no, no lashes this time. And on top of that too, like not for nothing, I think most people like people with glasses. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives that little I'm smart kind of feel. Yes, yeah. Anyways, so today's topic we're gonna talk about is definitely regarding how this dating pool is a cesspool. You know what I mean? And why is it a cesspool? Like, you see the little turds floating and, some piss, Matter of fact, like, what is it? The chlorine pools that got the little markers that if you pee in it, it turns dark blue. Like, that's just where we're at. We're thinking that it's dark blue because of the fact that it's, a nice deep sea. No, it's dark blue because there's a whole bunch of piss in it. No,
We see the dark blue, we're just gonna try to swim around it.
yeah, we gotta try to swim around the dark pool. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand that there's so much of a freaking disconnect between men and women, and why we have this disconnect. A lot of it has to do with we have been led to believe women are the prize. Now, a lot of y'all gonna hate me for this, but I don't give a fuck. We are not the prize women. Oh, well, matter of fact, you know what? We're like one of those participation medals. Like, we're not the grand prize. The grand prize is the men. Now, why do I say that? Before y'all come fight me, just understand there's a method to this madness and there's a reason, okay? So we have to understand, right? When it comes down to the participation medal, everybody gets one, okay? Everyone gets one. When we talk about, us using that in the concept of women, there's a whole bunch of us out here. You know what I'm saying? We're all special, especially because Disney lied to us. Remember Disney? Sometimes, especially like our dads and all that other stuff. See, my dad always kept it real with me. I was always pretty, so I didn't have that issue of like, you're beautiful, and he was lying to me. He was telling me the truth. I know it. I'm good looking, whatever. But it's a lot of it has to do with the fact that we were always told that we're going to get everything we want. We're the prize, blah, 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 blah. Men have to work for us. Now, let's have a dose of reality. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm going to lean in a little bit because, it's about to get real. We have to understand as women that men don't need us. We need them. Or, the masculine energy don't necessarily need us. We need them. As the feminine energy, because at the very end of the day, there is more women than there is men in the world, okay? So back to that participation medal. This is why men are the grand prize, okay? And on top of that too, when we think about value, so value is placed on women with our beauty. That is how we are valued. Whether we like it or not, that's the reality. If we want to talk about that, body positivity, everybody's beautiful, whatever, there's hierarchies. So even those who are screaming body positivity and beauty standards and all that, they understand. Yeah, they're definitely screaming it from the top, but like they understand that there's hierarchies too, and they're just trying to fit in where they could get in. You know what I'm saying? So let's be real. Let's not follow the hype or the trend because that's not the reality. We all know a dose of reality in some aspect. We are just kind of like in denial. Well, it's time to get out of that denial and delusion, and let's stop living with the mirage. Okay. Men's value is placed on resources. Okay, so you ever see those the big fat ugly nigga that got all the bad bitches? Now I'm just talking the lingo that y'all like using, so don't come for me with the niggas and bitches shit. I'm just trying to talk to level with y'all. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. So the big fat nigga with that's ugly as hell, and he got all the money and he got all the bad bitches, is because those bitches wanted his damn money. Okay, now let's do it in reverse. We have the most beautiful women, fit, feminine, inspirational, as a lot of people like to reference towards. And then, we have the women who, may not be so fit, may not be so feminine, may not be so inspirational, or fit the standard beauty standards that everybody seems to, scale themselves on. And who's getting VIP? I'll wait. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And so when women sit there and they're like, "Oh, you ask a woman to, describe what a man wants." She's describing a whole man. And now let me be honest with you. Most men ain't going for masculine, okay? If you catch my drift. I'm trying to be appropriate for YouTube, okay? Most men ain't going for masculine, okay? They want the feminine. Whether it be the same sex or the opposite sex, they want the feminine energy, okay? So when we really break that down, our value as women depreciates over time. Okay, we start getting saggy skin, we start getting the wrinkles, our fertility starts to become challenged. And these are criteria that men pay attention to because they're visual creatures. Okay, visual. So therefore, they're going to go for what looks good to them. Okay. Now, men over time, they come to their financial peak usually around 40, 45 or some shit like that. So their money only gets better over time because one thing you could always do is make money over time. So essentially, their value appreciates over time. So it's back to like what I was talking about in I think episode 2. Yeah, episode 2. I was talking about the Moynihan scissors. We could talk about the Moynihan scissors in real time because we're talking about how women's value. We be at our peak and we depreciate over time. Men's value, they're right here, whatever the case may be in our eyes, because the younger they are, the less money they got. A lot of times, unless the new age ones, who they on some shit with these scamming stuff. They be having some money. Like, not saying that's the one we go for, because paper trail, the government's coming back for what they, what I'm saying. Them, just saying, we want to be careful who we try to align ourselves with, because the feds is always watching. Just saying, just throwing it out there. Anyways, so usually when we go with the concept of like the younger the woman is, the more pretty and viable and fertile she is, whatever the case may be. Boom. So our value is up here. It depreciates over time. Okay. Now, men, they don't normally have, and I'm just going for like the average man normally does not have a lot of money at the age of like 18 or whatever the case may be. But as time goes on, they appreciate over time. Okay. So who is truly the grand prize when we're talking at 60 years old? Yeah, that's what I thought. We have to be honest. This is why it's important for us to like, date with intentions, because dating is dumb, especially these days. Remember that cesspool I referred to earlier? Dating is dumb. And we have to come to the understanding that like we're supposed to really lock in with someone who really got us for the long haul, because as time goes on, you know, what do we really have as far as stability and stuff? Yeah, we could talk about I'm an independent woman and I'm a work, blah, 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 blah. But think about it. How many of us really go to college, obtain a degree, and actually have a career from that degree? Exactly. You know what I mean? So we have to understand, and too, not for nothing. I'm not gonna disclose my age. Y'all could go figure that out. But definitely in that danger zone, criteria between 27 and 35. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. Anywho, I'm tired of working. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I don't know how anybody thinks that I'm gonna be doing this for another 30 years, 35 years, or 40 years. I'm gonna let you guys figure that out. You know what I'm saying? But I don't wanna do it. I absolutely do not want to do it. Women naturally, we rather tend to our children. That's why a lot of us, we have separation anxiety after we have kids. We get on, unemployment, TDI, TCI, whatever, and we have the maternity leave, and we don't want to go back after maternity leave is done, because naturally, instinctively, we prefer to tend to our children. And um but nowadays, there are circumstances where women can make more money than men, depending on the education or whatever. But the thing is that women, we tend to date with hypergamy, and men tend to date with hypogamy. Now, what is hypergamy and hypogamy? Hypergamy is we like to date up, okay? Hypogamy is they like to date down. Now, I have taken a consensus through a lot of my male clients, and they agree that, women will, we can have, so if we have men and women who have a lot of money or whatever the case may be, a man will go for a chick who works at Wendy's, but a female would never go for the guy who works at Wendy's, as an example. And the essentially it's true because a lot of times we want someone who is of equal value, if not more than us. You know what I mean? And that's just, I guess, nature. It's natural. But is that right? No. Are we really ranking ourselves realistically? Absolutely not. Everybody's a 10 if you ask them. See, me, I know for a fact I'm like that, well, if we can't use 7 based on the scale that, a lot of people like to say, then I would say I'm an adjustable 6. Throw some makeup on and get my fitness intact, definitely at a 8. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can't use 7. But if we gonna use 7, then I'm definitely a 7. And then, I go ahead and I bump over to that 8, 8 plus range. You know what I'm saying? Once I get myself together. But I already know that, losing weight is something I want to do. Ain't got shit to do with trying to fit a beauty standard. It has everything to do with health because there is tons of skinny people who ain't healthy. Okay? People have to understand that health is not necessarily a projection of what you look like per se. It has a lot to do with your overall body makeup. You know what I mean? Anyways, so when we get in the concept of what women have to understand is when you have a good man, if you have a man who has the ideology of being a provider and a protector and a professor, if you have a man who literally is a family oriented man who wants to grow and build and form the foundation with you, do him a damn favor. Stop bugging him, okay? Because what women have to understand, this is what I love telling my female clients, is in the concept of especially as a black man in America, right? Or anywhere, because as we can see with Ukraine, doesn't matter where you're at. Just as a black man, he already is born with what is considered 2 strikes. He is black and he is a male. Okay? Now, when he steps outside of the home, he has a target on his back. So I always use the concept of he is outside fighting dragons and slaying knights. You know what I mean? Or fighting knights and slaying dragons, however you want to put it. Regardless, he's dealing with some shit outside, whether it be, um, just people in passing, cops, whatever. It's a lot on the man. You know what I mean? And then when he comes home, does he want to fight more dragons and slay more? Fight more knights and slay more dragons? No. He wants to recharge. Your home's supposed to be tranquil. It's supposed to be with peace. So women, and not for nothing, there's a lot of podcasters out there, and they basically tell you what it is of what is like, desired or wanted from men, with women or whatever the case may be. And it's almost kind of like a blueprint, a handbook, which could be kind of low key dangerous for a lot of men because shit, now we know how to play y'all, and that's not cool. Hopefully, you get one that has integrity and that has a moral compass, because at this point, how do you tell a rotten apple from candy coated ones? At this point, I don't know, and that could go in dual meanings, including the whole gender reassignment in BBLs and dramatic makeup, like. How do you really unblur the lines of who's who? Just saying. It's a thought. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. So yeah, the home's supposed to be tranquil. Women, we are here to provide peace. We're here to provide vision. We're here to provide a nurturing aspect and bone. We are not the spine of the family. We are more the muscle, well, the tendons and bones, I would say. But no, not the bones. It would be the tendons and the tissue. That's yeah, tendons and tissue. Let's go with that. Because a lot of us be tender. We do use a lot of tissue when we sit there and cry. No, so gotta make this fun. I'm sorry. Anyways, and men are really like the bones and the muscles. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what makes up the family body. You know what I mean? And we have to understand like our men, we can provide them vision, we could provide them insight, intellect, whatever, because nothing's stronger than a woman's intuition, if you know what I'm saying. And we are literally here to work together and get things done, but the men are the ones that's going to carry out the labor. The men, their bodies, like, have you ever seen a lot of these 65, 70-year-old men? They still work. They work a lot. You ever seen the 60 and 70-year-old women? They don't want to work. They want to be home. They're low key fragile, you know? You probably go like this, or and then they're done. You know what I'm saying? So let's think bigger picture here. Everybody wants to think right here, right now, in the moment, but we need to be realistic. We need to be real with ourselves because it's really counterproductive. It's not getting us anywhere. Women, we have to understand we need to learn how to conflict in the relationship, and men really are not the problem when it comes to that because a lot of men have sustaining friendships and for long periods of time. A lot of men actually keep jobs for long periods of time, whereas us women, we'll flip tables over and say fuck this and I'm out easily. If we go with the marriage, 90% of divorces are filed by women for amicable differences, and men can't even file for that if we want to be technical. So who's really destroying the homes? It's a thought. Just saying. And in all reality, men know how to conflict because even with those long sustaining friendships, they still are cool. You ever see two dudes beef? Two friends get into it male wise and give it like maybe a couple days or a couple hours. They're, yo, bro, my bad. Like, this is what blah 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 blah. They know how to communicate. It's us women that really got the problem because not for nothing, a lot of us will, do that shit that I was talking about before with the ghosting and canceling culture. Shit, it's a lot of women that be doing that shit. And if the men are participating in that type of behavior, sorry, sir, but your energy is leaning more towards the feminine than it is the masculine because most, men lead with logic, not emotion. Just saying. Yeah, I'm gonna be nice though, but y'all know what I mean. But yeah, so just like, really think about that and let's be real about this. Let's have honest conversations. Remember, slide over to Cite Your Perspective on IG, like, share, comment, whatever, not get, whatever, tickles your fancy. I'm all for it. Let's really have this conversation below. Let's really get this conversation going because in all reality, we're trying to come together as one. We don't need no more of these single moms, single women, hyper independence. I don't need nobody type of charade we got going on. We need to bring it to an end. All right, y'all. Peace.